Berapa lama kamu di Switzerland?
6 malam.
6 malam.
6 malam.
Hebat.
6 malam. Ya.
Keindahan di sini sangat cantik kan?
Wah.
Baru bulan 5 kami berada di Malaysia. Dia belum pernah ke situ, jadi kami ini istri
Bulan
saya.
5 datang Malaysia, datang Terengganu, cantik.
Oh, bukan bulan 5 tahun ini. Sudah yang
sudah.
baru lalu. Ya.
Korang tengok Mak Saleh ni apa benda dia buat. Aduh, dia buat pintu ni. Dah berapa bulan dah dia kat atas puncak itu hijau.
Kita bagi makan apa, masak lemak cili api, ikan siakap. Macam mana? Okey. Sedap. Sedap. Baru berapa hari kat Malaysia dah pandai cakap Melayu. Very nice.
Lelaki barat itu berkata makanan yang pelbagai membuatkannya suka dengan negara ini. Selain tu, dia menyukai aktiviti bersukan di sini namun badan hendaklah berada dalam keadaan sihat.
Humble. Itulah satu perkataan yang sering orang gunakan untuk menggambarkan Malaysia. Tidak lantang, tidak berlebihan, dan jarang sekali menunjuk apa yang dimiliki. Namun di sebalik sikap sederhana itu, ada sesuatu yang berbahaya. Bukan berbahaya kerana ancaman, tetapi berbahaya kerana ia membuat dunia terasa kecil tanpa sedar. Malaysia tidak perlu menjerit untuk didengar. Ia hadir perlahan, melalui senyuman orang ramai, melalui cara berbeza bangsa duduk semeja, melalui kehidupan yang bergerak tanpa rasa curiga. Pelancong datang dengan jangkaan biasa. Namun mereka pulang dengan rasa pelik di dada. Bukan marah. Bukan kagum semata-mata. Tetapi satu perasaan sukar dijelaskan. Rasa iri yang tidak disengajakan. Iri pada ketenangan. Iri pada keharmonian. Iri pada cara kita hidup tanpa perlu membuktikan siapa lebih hebat. Malaysia tidak mengejar perhatian dunia. Namun dunia tetap memandang. Dan tanpa disedari, sifat humble inilah yang membuat orang luar mula tertanya,
Malaysia is the most underrated country in Southeast Asia. I just spent a month there and here's what I think. Everyone actually speaks English there. It's also relatively clean compared to the other countries in the region. And the food in Malaysia is the best I've tasted across all of the world. Kuala Lumpur is also super modern with great infrastructure and it's way less touristy than Thailand. The country is Muslim, so I thought it was going to be super strict, but you can actually buy alcohol, they have nightclubs. It's not as great as other countries and alcohol is quite expensive. If that's what you're looking for, don't go to Malaysia. One thing I forgot to say is how cheap Malaysia is. I found that some things are actually cheaper than in Thailand, but some things like alcohol, for example, are more expensive. One of the downsides with Malaysia is that it's not as flashy as other countries. It doesn't have so many tourist attractions, but it's definitely a great place to live long term.
Malaysia, I have something important to say, but it is not easy, honestly. I never thought this day would come, but I have lost something that used to be part of my life. I tried to move on. I really did. But nothing feels the same. Everything reminds me of it. I've tried to replace it with other things. I've tried many times, but nothing gives me the same comfort, the same warmth. I can't do this anymore. It is too painful. I need you back. I need you back. I need you back. I love you. I love you, my baby. Titanic. Thank you for being here for me. For all of you Titanic lover out there, comment below and let me know if you feel the same way. Happy Titanic Day every day. Till next time, I got you again. This is Mr. T. Mr. Titanic, Mr. T from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Much love. So good, so good.
For every taste, the flavors of Malaysia, a symphony I can't waste.
None of this behind me is real. I edited it using Adobe, so this is all fake. The only thing that's real in this video is this, my road. Everything else, green screen.
I first got to Malaysia, bro, I was hyped. I was like, Malaysia the best country in Southeast Asia. I'm ready to argue. People in the comments, Terry, shh, we don't want people to know we live in trees and stuff. Now I get why y'all say that. This is Wakanda. You don't want everybody here. You gotta be respectful. If you mess up a place that's respectful, if you make them mad, oh, you in trouble.
There is an interesting pattern in Malaysia I noticed among the foreigners that I think it's quite unique, but let me explain it based on the situation. So recently I was catching up with a friend. She's foreigner and she just moved to Malaysia a few months ago. She met up with a girl who is Malaysian as a heritage. Her parents are Malaysian, but never grew up in Malaysia. We met up and that Malaysian that never grew up in Malaysia was complaining a lot about the country. I don't know the details, I think I'll boil too much to hear it, but that friend of mine that it's a foreigner that moved to Malaysia was saying she couldn't stand it. She was getting very defensive about Malaysia. She was getting very irritated about all the comments. She was constantly disagreeing with that person. And that friend of mine said she has no intention to ever even see her again because of that. She took all the criticism about Malaysia very personally, although it was coming from the person whose heritage is Malaysian. And I remember this happens actually a lot, that the foreigners that do live in Malaysia, do settle here, are becoming like ambassadors of Malaysia and take any criticism about the country very personally and are always ready to fight it back. Well, I remember also another situation with a European lady that lives here for a while as well, and she was telling me that she's also met a person, I think that person wasn't Malaysian, made few negative comments about Malaysia's here and there. And then she was so angry. She was basically, when she was telling me the story, she was boiling up. She was so triggered. She was saying that she even told this person, go back to your own country if you don't like it. She couldn't accept that someone could say something negatively about Malaysia. And I have the same thing. My friends are laughing that I'm like a Malaysian ambassador or like a Malaysian tiger that will bite back if anyone will say anything negative about Malaysia. I get even triggered when someone shared the opinion about even the food, which is such a personal preference, and everyone has a right to love it or not like it, but I really don't like hearing when someone criticizes anything about this country or elements of the culture or the food. I was thinking, I don't know many foreigners living in Poland, but I've never noticed such a consistent army defending the country of foreigners living there. I lived in Thailand before and I don't think I've noticed that. I'm really curious if this is really a unique for Malaysia thing. And obviously every country has pros and cons, no country is perfect, but I think that attitude, it's very, very clear that if someone lives here, they love Malaysia with their whole heart and they feel like a part of Malaysia and responsible for the image of this country. And obviously not all, there are foreigners as well that, you know, are vocal about the things that they might not like. But I'm saying majority of the people I speak with or I meet with, usually it's the same consistent Malaysian tiger attitude. And I was thinking, where could it be coming from? And one theory is that Malaysia is very inclusive. You do feel like a part of the culture when you settle in here. People basically take you in and feel like a part of the families, and you are feeling attacked if someone is attacking the country. The other theory is that I feel Malaysians also have a big sense of pride about their identity, culture, traditions and heritage, and that might be infectious, that we all, you know, fall in love with that so deeply that we want everyone to feel this way as well. It's definitely beautiful and beautifully unique But let me know your thoughts.
Malaysia, you think the Western countries are always ahead? Not when it comes to these 3 ways Malaysia beats them. Just wait until you hear number 3. In Malaysia, the park is life. You can sit in the mamak for hours, drinking tea-tatting and chatting with friends. No one will ever rush you. Meanwhile, pubs in the UK close early, and they'll remind you once the clock hits 11 p.m. It's time to go home. Malaysia's lepak culture wins every time. In Malaysia, food is a real deal. Nasi lemak for breakfast, satay for lunch, roti cundai at 3 a.m. This is a marathon full of flavors. In Australia, it's all about healthy, balanced diet with a side of avocados. They have 3 meals a day. In Malaysia, we're just getting started. In Malaysia, we don't need weather apps. Everyone knows it rains almost every day at 4 p.m., so everyone knows how to carry an umbrella. Not a big deal. In New York, though, a little bit of rain, and people start running for cover, checking their weather apps every 5 minutes. Meanwhile, Malaysians are just sipping tea out in the rain like it's nothing. So who wins? UK's pubs, Australia's avocado obsession, or Malaysia's rainproof lifestyle? I think we know the answer. Tag a friend who always carry an umbrella and love a good supper session.
Weather. Because Malaysia is hot. Very good. Guys, Malaysian guy is very warm, kind, respectful. And then Malaysian guy 有 boundary 的 This is very important. 匈牙利的人，你说你有男朋友，他们会 like so what?
Oh, so what? You're not yet married.
Something like that. 但是匈牙利的人也是好的，但是我喜欢的是马来西亚的男生。And then number 3, food. Because here a lot of variety. Today want to eat Indian food. Tomorrow Chinese food. Next day Malay food.
Keistimewaan Malaysia bukan terletak pada apa yang ditonjolkan, tetapi pada apa yang tidak perlu dipaksa. Di sinilah perbezaan wujud tanpa perbalahan dan keharmonian hadir tanpa arahan. Kita hidup dalam kepelbagaian, namun tidak menjadikannya alasan untuk berpecah. Bahasa berbeza, budaya berbeza, dan kepercayaan berbeza, tetapi rasa hormat tetap menjadi pengikat. Inilah yang membuat orang luar keliru. Mereka datang dari tempat yang segalanya perlu dibuktikan. Status, suara, pengaruh, semuanya berlumba. Namun di Malaysia, kekuatan datang daripada kesederhanaan. Humble ini berbahaya kerana ia senyap. Ia tidak memerlukan pengiktirafan. Namun sesiapa yang merasainya akan pulang dengan soalan dalam hati. Kenapa negara kami tidak terasa seperti ini? Namun keharmonian ini bukan sesuatu yang kekal jika diabaikan. Ia perlu dijaga, dipelihara, dan dihargai oleh mereka yang tinggal di dalamnya. Video ini bukan untuk mendabik dada, tetapi untuk menyedarkan bahawa apa yang kita anggap biasa sebenarnya menjadi impian bagi ramai di luar sana. Jika anda pernah merasai keindahan ini, kongsikan pandangan anda. Kerana setiap suara membawa makna, dan pada akhirnya, setiap cerita ada maknanya, dan setiap makna bermula dari rasa sayang.
Lagi bersorak, bumi bergetar, suara ini menembus awan. Jejak langkah takkan pudar, gema kita selamanya bertahan.